Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. And let's catch up. So,
Yes.
Yeah, let's just dive right in, right? So the photo I'm looking at right now, let me describe it so people who are listening can get a sense of it. There are two figures in the image. One person, you, is kind of walking with the arms up, threading himself through a crowd. In front of you, there's a guy who's Balinese. I know he's from Bali because we are in Bali. He's wearing a kind of a toque, just kind of, just basically covering his head. He's looking pretty fly, pretty cool. And we're surrounded by what is a wedding, a bamboo wedding, and you're the only Caucasian face in the crowd. So you're walking through. Can't see your whole face. You can just see your eye, where you're kind of looking forwards. You can see your cheekbone and the skin going up because it looks like you're grinning, you're smiling, you're having an amazing time. In your right hand, you're holding a small digital camera. In your left hand, you're putting your two fingers up like, rock and roll horns. And you're wearing a black tank top. You're snaking through, and it's an incredible moment. And so here's the question. I asked you, I said, hey, Tim, would you be on my podcast? All you need to do is pick 3 photographs that share a bit of where you are right now, what's in your head right now, and what you want to put onto the world. And this is the first one you picked. Tell me the story, man.
Well, that photo came at an interesting point of transition in my life. I was on my way to getting a divorce the year previous to that photo, and after being in a relationship for about 9 years and just giving of myself and really feeling like I had kind of put some of my professional goals and dreams on hold to support my spouse, I found myself like, okay, well, this marriage is ending. How do I get back to me? What was it about me what did I used to do before this marriage when it was just me that really brought joy to my life? And I just had this epiphany that was like, it was travel, traveling the world and experiencing different cultures, meeting different people, just looking at the world through other people's eyes as much as I could, by traveling. And so, I traveled to Hong Kong and had an amazing experience. And it was so amazing that, after my divorce, I was like, maybe that was just too good to be true, so I'm going to have to go back for round 2 and really, instead of just staying in Hong Kong, maybe travel with my friends, Ran and Delian, to someplace and experience a trip with them. And so we decided to go to Bali. And I remember you saying, if you're going to travel with us, you got to get your chops up and on the back of a motorcycle, because that's the way we like to travel. So it was like, okay, here we're headed for Bali for this amazing trip on a motorcycle. And I was really a novice, just a total rookie on a motorcycle. And I remember that first day we took off from Denpasar, headed, west, and I almost died. So it was sort of like this, okay, that I almost died.
Sink or swim.
This is what living is all about.
Sink or swim. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah. Added a little extra spice to the voyage, know, and then, so here we were, our first stop was in Medewi, and we're sitting there watching the sunset, watching people surf, and one of the locals came up and chatted us up. And, we invited him to dinner with us, and over the course of dinner, he invited us to go to this wedding. Mm-hmm. And so it was one of those things where, most people that I know would have been like, hell no. I don't know you. Mm-hmm. I'm not following you off into the sugarcane fields to God knows where. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But, that sort of trepidation just never crossed my mind, and I don't think it crossed y'all's minds either.
Nope.
And so here we were, like, we just stumbled onto this amazing wedding it was like about a 20-person bamboo band, like a bunch of bamboo instruments, xylophones, whatnot. And there was a Balinese dancer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it was like,
it was magical.
Like we were celebrity.
It was, but
it wasn't like the original Wedding Crashers, know, and here we were just welcomed with open arms. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those things, like, that is exactly the kind of experience that I was looking for to sort of get back to me. And so I found that photo really sort of encapsulates achieving that goal of just, because I always, the thing that I really love about traveling is being in this foreign culture and, another language, and just figuring out how to make connections with people and enjoy myself. And I think that picture really, really speaks to that.
Oh, for sure. I've known you through Delian, and it's one of these things that as soon as we meet, we just, you're the kind of person who just gives the energy forward, and it's like the brightness and the warmth. Yeah, we were like, let's rehabilitate Tim, so we went to Bali. If I can kind of round out the photo, is that, so basically there were hundreds of people at this wedding, and it's outside. And you have the band, like the sort of the Balinese band playing like the percussion on the sort of the bamboo metal xylophones, and the music was all around us, and it was full, and it was deep, and it was so total, and it was so uplifting. That day was easily one of the most magical musical events I've been lucky enough to be in, because if we place ourselves back at that feeling, of that, the music was so, it was almost syncopated, and it was really like traveling in a sense, and everybody was all in there. And so that we stood out because of our foreignness or whatever, it was, obvious. We're the only sort of foreigners there. And that's why they pulled us to the front to dance individually with the traditional Balinese dancer.
Yes.
What I find also interesting is that making the connections, like, this is you previously in a marriage that is just so dark and so terrible, and you just needed, your health needed to get out of, so you could sort of reconnect to your own life. And isn't it interesting that the next event that made you, that you connect in your mind in terms of your history and your thought process, is in fact a marriage ceremony on the other side of the world?
Absolutely. Yeah. Call it a rebound.
That was so good.
But no, I think that really lends itself to, like, how special it was, because you think about Wedding Crashers, and it's like, oh, well, how dare you, like, intrude on, like, it's most cultures, like, marriage is a holy sacrament.
Yeah.
So it's like this sacred ritual, and here's this guy, this pasty white dude from Houston, Texas, that rides up on his motorcycle, it's just like, hey,
super fun.
Let's get married.
Well, not you. But it was truly, it's a testament to actually an experience of being in a different culture where actually, everybody can come along. It's a time of celebration. And also, that they'll we literally knew the guy for about 3 or 4 hours beforehand. And then he invites us to this wedding. And it was like his little decision, like, I'm going to invite these people to this wedding because it's fun and it's great. And he did that. And then here we are 12 years later, still so connected to that moment.
Absolutely. And it's like, I guess when you asked me to pick out 3 photographs, I tried to pick out photographs that were metaphors for, like, these seminal moments in my life. It was just like something that was very representational and moments that I felt helped were like moments of transition for me, sort of reawakening or just being in the moment and making the most of it.
Right. Right. Very present. Very present.
Absolutely.
Let's use that as the sort of the natural segue to go to the next one, which is just, again, bonkersly perfect. So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.